A general question here about how long it takes to mix the session start to finish, and when are you comfortable with it being done?
Okay. First question, that answer can vary anywhere from 20 minutes to 20 days. It just depends on the amount of content. It depends on how organized the content is. It depends on the level of crazy of the artist or producer. And they all have varying levels of crazy and levels of content, and it could go either way. And the longest I've ever done was when we were working with Michael Jackson. We were doing They Don't Care About Us, and that mix probably took like 6 months, just because he couldn't make up his mind. We were going back and forth. It wasn't necessarily a technical thing. It's just he wanted this, and then he was like, he came in, he called one day and was like, Michael was, I want some sticks in there. I want to put some sticks. Sticks? Like, what do you mean? Like, And then it's so funny because Bruce and I were talking about it last night, where Michael would ask for the craziest thing, and when you get to his level of crazy, it actually sounded good, but you had to get to his level. You had to understand, like, what are sticks? Like, I want sticks in the mix. I want, guys, I want to have sticks. And you're like, okay. And then when you get to his level of crazy and you figure out what sticks are, then and then we walk around the next day like, the sticks sound good. Like, good sticks. But you got to get there with him. So, again, it's so many factors that determine how long a mix could take. As far as when I know I'm done, I actually kind of just touched on it before, where when I start second guessing myself, whenever I start feeling like I'm asking too many questions, you can unravel a mix just as much as you mixed the song. You can unmix a song just as much as you mixed it. So I know when my stopping point is, when I start asking too many questions, when I start saying, should I have turned that kick up or down, or should I have done this, or when there's too many questions in a row like that, that's when I stop. And I had a question back over here. And just so you know, that's pretty much my process. There's not too much else to it. I don't overthink things. The rest of my process is now going to be about levels and where things fit. And like I said, the creative decisions, like, should I put Akon in the middle, X, Y, and Z.
What was your most difficult project that you worked on, and in what time frame, were you able to complete it?
I mentioned it earlier. The most difficult mix ever that I was a part of was the They Don't Care About Us Michael Jackson situation. Because, I was working with Bruce Swedien. So first of all, I was sitting next to my mentor, the guy who I'd idolized all my life, and who made me want to do what I'm doing. I was, when we gave him an award last night, and I was kind of touching on that, and to be able to have the opportunity to work on a history album and sit, I didn't expect to even be working with him. I was only out there in the capacity of Michael. I was working with Dallas Austin at the time, and Michael wanted Dallas to make sure he brought the person who mixed his beats, because when he sent him the beats for Michael to pick from, Michael was like, no, these sound raw and rugged and rough, and I want that same energy. So I was only really going just to be going, because we had already printed everything and had it, formatted a certain way. And I walked in there to meet Bruce, and he told me to come sit down and mix with him. And I was like, he's actually going to let me do that? And, so that was difficult for a lot of reasons, because I was so damn nervous the whole time. So just to even get through calming my nerves to get the task done was, a hectic process. And then once I got through that and I got comfortable with him and comfortable with Michael being there, and then even the after process of coming back to it, going back to Atlanta and messing with the track, it was just a technical nightmare, because I think we used 4 or 5 48-track digital machines all locked up together. It was a logistics nightmare just to get the song to play right. And then Michael kept wanting to add stuff. Sorry, stuff. I said stuff. I didn't do it. But Michael kept wanting to add stuff, and he kept asking for sticks and rocks, and after a while we were like, what? So it was a very tough process for a lot of different reasons, and then the obvious reason of not wanting to mess up, or so that was a tough one. but good.